so that nobody feels left behind.
Shaking while speaking, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki's speech at the State House today during the journey to the First World Conference event has sparked discussions after he appeared to shake while speaking. Watch until you hear what he said and how he behaved.
And when I say political parties, it means anybody, even if it's an opposition political party and you want to build into the thinking around this national vision, I think they should be welcomed from as early as possible so that we depoliticize this matter.
Some observers have linked the moment to the claim made yesterday by the former Deputy President Gachagua, who alleged that Kindiki could be facing intimidation and being sidelined by individuals within State House, similar to what Gachagua says he experienced before his impeachment.
Nimepata habari vile walikuwa wananikosea heshima hao wakalejin wameanza kumtesa huyo Kindiki hapo kumkosea heshima. So we professor, you are our son. I want to tell you because you are our son. Ukipata shinda hapo mbele because utapata. Welcome back home.
Ni fire ama si fire?
Thank you, my brother Musalia, our Prime Cabinet Secretary. Your Excellency, sir, I have listened carefully to what we have heard this morning from the team led by Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. And looking and listening to all the distinguished, esteemed academics who have spoken here, also having listened to Mzee Atwoli, our dad there, very, very experienced trade unionists, having listened to Betty there from industry and Betty, we are in good space. And I'm very blessed to be a son of Kenya because this is a great country, Your Excellency, that you're leading. I think we are fairly clear on the things we need to do based on a glimpse at this report into the future. What we need to do about the primary sector, which is our land that God gave us, with its potential for agriculture and the mineral wealth, which is the primary sector. And no country is very difficult. This is something that perhaps when we do the public participation that we have said we will do, be shorter, take a shorter time.
However, the reason for Kindiki's appearance while speaking has not been confirmed, and it would be speculative to conclude that it was caused by political pressure.
Nations, many have developed differently, but I insist that the primary sector is the most durable way of underwriting long-term, sustainable, and permanent movement into the first world. I say so because there is emerging thinking that the service sector and other things that have emerged in the last few decades could also underwrite long-term movement into the first world. I don't think so, because of the possibilities of disruption of those sectors that could set us back again. Tourism is good, and all the other service sectors are good, but they could be disrupted by some of the things that we've seen lately. So the only permanent underwriter of long-term national transformation into the first world will still remain the primary sector, our land, and also now the second pillar, as has been suggested, will be the productive sector, manufacturing, and the services sector now come in, transports and logistics and so on. And then finally, has been ably put out by this report, the enablers, our education, innovation, science and technology, research, value system, which is very important. And one of the speakers mentioned something in passing, which for me, I am beginning to believe is one of the missing links to answering the question that was posed by Mzee Atwoli.
The incident has nevertheless fueled a debate over the current political environment and the relationship between the deputy president and the State House establishment.
On why we don't get it right as Africans, as black people. And that is confidence. I think we have all these factors, you know, a young population, good land, mineral wealth, but the confidence, the belief in our ability to do it like everybody else is something that we must build in ourselves. And you've led us very ably, Mr. President, in reminding us the need for us to believe in our country, to believe in ourselves, and make sure that nothing takes away our country's long-term interest from our view. So, Your Excellency, today is not my day. I am just very excited that this is a good discussion that we are having as we look into the future. And Professor Nyong'o and the other distinguished members of his team, and I hope going forward we'll have women members into this thinking, and our young people as well, so that we discuss the future together as you lead us and you guide us in how we move now that we have a starting point from our good brother Prof and the team. I just wanted to end by saying that they have helped us answer or start looking at a possible answer for the big bottleneck that has disturbed Africa and most of the developing world, which is policy disruption. Professor Kanyinga spoke about policy disruption. That is the biggest threat to the developing world, where every administration wants to come and do what they think is okay. And I've been asking myself, how do we incubate, how do we insulate the vision for Kenya from this administration, the next administration, and the other administration? And they have told us we must start anchoring the vision for Kenya in law. And once it's anchored in law, we are not saying it cannot be adjusted, because again, it could be adjusted, but it must be difficult to adjust it. So you'll have to go to Parliament and try and amend, you know, that law, and that incubates at least this process in a big way from disruption. So I think that's a starting point of handling policy disruption. And I hope, Your Excellency, as you lead us into moving this discussion forward, maybe you may consider to also have political parties being part of this discussion, so that nobody feels left behind. And when I say political parties, it means anybody, even if it's an opposition political party and you want to build into the thinking around this national vision. I think they should be welcomed from as early as possible, because this is not about your administration. It is not about a particular political party. And political parties, being institutions of our governance, should be invited from very early if those that want to participate.
This is System Pathway. If you're a new member, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're a regular member, don't forget to like and even leave your comment, leave your thought, and see you in the next episode.